Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice, inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 12 to 13. What if I told you that the chosen ones aren't born, they're made? They're forged through a series of tests that most people never even recognize. These tests aren't physical. They're spiritual, mental, and emotional challenges, the hardest ones a soul can face. Few people go through these tests. Even fewer pass them. But those who do emerge forever changed. You see, life itself is a test. But not everyone gets the same test. There are levels to this, and the deeper you go, the more intense the challenges become. The chosen ones are those willing to face the hardest tests, not because they want to, but because they have no other choice. They feel this deep, unshakable pull, an inner calling that tells them, you must go through this. If something in your spirit is resonating with these words right now, drop 777 in the comments. Let me know your soul is awakening to this message. Because what I'm about to share isn't just information, it's recognition of a journey your spirit might already be on. These tests will push you to the edge, make you question everything, even who you think you are. But if you can endure them, you will come out the other side transformed. That's what awaits the chosen ones who pass all 7 tests. Let's begin the journey. Test 1. Confronting your true self. The first test begins when you are asked to confront the truth of who you truly are. We spend so much time building up an image, a mask that we show to the world. We define ourselves by our jobs, relationships, possessions, but this test strips all of that away. It forces you to look in the mirror and see yourself without the mask. This moment is terrifying because it's like staring into the abyss. Who are you when everything you thought you were is stripped away? Think about Oprah Winfrey. Before she became a media icon, she endured poverty, abuse, and was once fired for being unsuitable for television. But her journey of self-discovery, confronting her true identity beyond the pain and rejection, became the foundation for her later impact. Just like you right now, the rejection you faced, the times people couldn't see your value, these aren't punishments, they're preparation. Just as Oprah had to face herself before she could help others, your current struggles are forcing you to look beyond the masks you've created. What identity are you clinging to that God is trying to strip away? Many people can't handle this first test. They retreat into the comfort of their illusions. But the chosen ones don't turn away. They stand there, staring into the mirror, and ask themselves, who am I really? Have you ever truly asked yourself that question? Not as a fleeting thought, but as a burning question that won't let go until you find the answer. Test 2. The test of isolation. As we journey deeper, we reach the second test, the test of isolation. In Scripture, we see this pattern repeatedly. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before his calling. Jesus spent 40 days in the desert before his ministry. David hid in caves before becoming king. The pattern is clear. Isolation precedes elevation. That season of loneliness you're experiencing right now, it's not a punishment. It's preparation. Those friends who suddenly disappeared, those social connections that dried up, what if God is deliberately creating space around you? What if your wilderness, just like Moses, is the very place your burning bush awaits? Your isolation isn't abandonment, it's sacred ground being prepared. We live in a world of constant noise, social media, work, friends, family. But to pass this test, you must be willing to be alone, not just physically alone, but mentally and emotionally alone. You must sit with yourself in the silence, confronting your thoughts, fears, and desires. In that silence, you begin to hear your inner voice, your true self calling out. Most people are afraid of silence because they're afraid of what they might hear. They fill every moment with distractions, scrolling, watching, talking, anything to avoid being alone with their thoughts. But the chosen ones embrace the silence. They know that in the quiet moments, truth emerges. Can you be alone? Can you disconnect from the constant noise and simply listen to the wisdom that emerges from within? Test 3. The test of letting go. Now we reach the third test, and for many, this is where the journey becomes even more difficult. This is the test of letting go. We hold on to so much in life: grudges, expectations, disappointments. We carry the weight of the past on our shoulders, and it drags us down. But to pass this test, you must be willing to let go of everything, to release your attachment to outcomes, to people, to things. This doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop clinging. You trust that whatever is meant for you will come to you, and what is not meant for you will fall away. Letting go is not an act of weakness. It is an act of immense strength. But here's the thing: letting go doesn't happen all at once. It's a process. You have to constantly remind yourself to release, to trust, and just when you think you've mastered it, life throws something at you that makes you want to cling again. It's in these moments that you must ask yourself, am I willing to let go even of this? How much are you willing to release in order to be free? Think about what you're holding on to right now. Is it a relationship that no longer serves you? A dream that's keeping you from seeing new possibilities? A version of yourself that you've outgrown but still cling to out of comfort? The chosen ones understand that true power comes not from holding on, but from letting go. They know that empty hands can receive new blessings. Test 4. The dark night of the soul. If you've made it through the first 3 tests, you've already begun to transform. But the journey doesn't get easier from here. In fact, it only gets harder. The 4th test is one that has broken even the strongest of souls. It is known as the dark night of the soul. This is the test where everything you thought you knew, everything you believed in, is turned upside down. It's as if the universe itself is testing you, asking, how much darkness can you endure before you lose your light? In the dark night of the soul, you are plunged into a period of intense inner turmoil. It feels like the entire world is crumbling around you. Relationships fall apart. Career paths vanish. Your sense of purpose disintegrates. And you are left with nothing but questions. Why is this happening? What did I do to deserve this? And most importantly, will I ever make it out of this darkness? But here's the secret. The dark night of the soul is not a punishment. It's a purification. It's a necessary phase in your spiritual evolution. The darkness is not there to destroy you, but to strip away everything that is not truly you. It is in the darkest moments that you find your deepest light, but only if you can endure. Most people, when faced with this test, fall into despair. They give up. They lose themselves in the darkness. But the chosen ones, they don't lose hope. They don't give in to despair. They understand that the darkness is temporary, that it's a phase. They keep moving forward even when they can't see the path ahead. They trust that there is light at the end of the tunnel, even if they can't see it yet. Let me ask you this. How do you react when everything falls apart? Do you panic? Do you try to cling to the pieces of your life that are crumbling, desperately trying to hold them together? Or do you let them fall, trusting that whatever is meant to stay will stay, and whatever is meant to go will go? The dark night teaches you to walk by faith, not by sight. It shows you that even when everything external is taken away, something within you remains unbroken. Test 5. The test of faith. The 5th test builds upon all that came before it. This is the test of faith, not faith in the religious sense, but faith in yourself, in the universe, in life itself. When you are in the dark night of the soul, you must have faith that the darkness is not permanent, that there is a greater plan at work even if you can't see it. This is perhaps one of the hardest tests because it requires you to believe in something you cannot see, something you cannot prove. It requires you to trust in the unseen, to trust that everything is happening for a reason, even if that reason is not clear to you yet. Faith is not blind. It's not about ignoring the pain or pretending that everything is okay. Faith is about acknowledging the pain, feeling it fully, and still choosing to believe that there is a purpose to it. It's about trusting that the universe is not against you, but working for you, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. And here's the thing. When you are in the dark night of the soul, your faith will be tested over and over again. You will be tempted to lose hope, to give up, to believe that the darkness is all there is. But the chosen ones endure. They hold on to their faith even when it feels like there is nothing left to hold on to. They keep moving forward even when every step feels like it's taking them deeper into the darkness. So let me ask you, how strong is your faith? Can you hold on to it when everything around you is falling apart? Can you trust in the unseen, in the unknown, even when the path ahead is dark? The test of faith separates those who merely begin the spiritual journey from those who are truly committed to spiritual transformation. Test 6. The test of surrender. At some point, when you've wrestled long enough with questions and fears, you come to a precipice. This is where the 6th test begins, the test of surrender. If you've made it this far, you've proven your strength and resilience. But this test isn't about strength, it's about giving up control. It's about surrendering to the flow of life, to forces greater than your individual will. And this, in many ways, is the hardest test of all. We humans love control. We plan, organize, strategize. We try to shape our lives according to our desires. But life doesn't follow our plans. It takes us in directions we never anticipated. The chosen ones understand that control is an illusion. There's a greater intelligence at work, a force that knows far more than the limited human mind. And they surrender to that force, letting go of their need to control outcomes. Before Moses could lead the Israelites, he had to surrender his excuses, his comfort, and his sense of inadequacy. "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh?" he asked God. It was only when he surrendered his resistance that his true purpose could unfold. I want you to hear this. Your excuses sound spiritual, don't they? "I'm not ready yet. I need more training," when the timing is perfect. These are the same words Moses used to resist his calling. But your insecurities are not disqualifications. They're the very reason God chose you. What if your feelings of inadequacy aren't a sign you should wait, but confirmation you're precisely where surrender begins? The areas where you feel most unqualified might be exactly where God wants to display His power through you. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means you stop resisting. You stop swimming against the current of life and allow yourself to be carried by it. Imagine swimming in a river. Fighting the current exhausts you, but surrendering to its flow carries you effortlessly. This is what surrendering to life feels like. In this test, you may be asked to let go of your identity, your ego, your very idea of who you are. You may need to surrender your desires, attachments, even your dreams. How much of your life do you spend trying to control things? What would happen if you stopped resisting and simply trusted that whatever happens is exactly what is meant to happen? The test of surrender requires courage, the courage to trust the unknown. Most will never pass this test because surrender feels like losing. But the chosen ones know surrender is not the end, it's the beginning. When you surrender, you align with a power greater than your own. You tap into the infinite intelligence of the universe, the intelligence that knows exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Can you let go of your need to control? Can you trust that life knows what it's doing, even when you don't? Test 7. The test of awakening. If you've come this far, if you've passed the test of surrender, you are already among the few who have endured the hardest trials. But there is one final test that remains, and it is the most profound of all. It is the test of awakening. This is the moment when you finally understand your purpose, when you see the ultimate truth that has been guiding you all along. The final test is not a test of endurance, but of realization. It's not about what you can do, but about what you can see. This is the moment when the veil is lifted, and you are able to see the world and yourself as they truly are. It's the moment when you awaken to your purpose, when you understand why you have gone through all the tests, why you have endured the pain, the darkness, the uncertainty. The chosen ones are not chosen because they are special. They are chosen because they have chosen to awaken. They have chosen to see the truth, even when it is uncomfortable, even when it challenges everything they have believed. And the truth that they awaken to is this: you are not separate from life. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are life itself, expressing itself through a unique form, through a unique journey. The final test is about realizing that all the struggles, all the tests were designed to bring you closer to this truth. They were designed to strip away the illusions, the false identities, the egoic desires, so that you could see the deeper reality that lies beneath it all. And that reality is this: you are here for a reason. You are here because life itself wanted to experience itself through you. Your purpose is not something you have to find outside of yourself. It's something you are already living every moment of every day. The final test asks you to awaken to this truth, to see that you are not separate from the universe, but an integral part of it. And when you awaken to this truth, everything changes. You no longer feel the need to control, because you understand that life is already unfolding perfectly. You no longer feel the need to search for your purpose, because you realize that your purpose is simply to be, to experience, to express life in whatever way feels most true to you. This awakening isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning of a new one. Once you pass this final test, you're no longer bound by limitations of mind, ego, or fears. You're free to live with purpose, meaning, and joy. Free to create, love, and explore without the weight of fear or doubt. Are you ready to awaken? Are you ready to see the truth of who you are and why you are here? The journey isn't easy. The tests aren't easy. But if you endure, if you pass through darkness, uncertainty, and pain, what awaits on the other side is beyond imagination. This is the path of the chosen ones. Not for the faint of heart, but for those willing to face the hardest tests and emerge awakened, transformed, and free. Are you one of the chosen ones? If something in this message has touched your soul, if you feel that inner calling, that unshakable pull towards something greater, drop "I am chosen" in the comments. Let your declaration be the first step on your journey of transformation. Remember, the chosen ones aren't born, they're made. Through tests, through trials, through darkness and light. Your journey begins now.